desk. Today I'm going to be answering your questions. Okay. So, I'm not gonna lie, I feel really corny making this video. But I wanted to do a Q&A video to celebrate 5K subscribers. And people have asked me questions and asked me to share, more about myself. Which I feel like I do, but in like a more direct way. So, and I'm not going to be drawing while I answer the questions. Instead, I have these sketchbooks with me, some of my old sketchbooks that I'm going to be tapping on while I answer the questions. And I have my list here in front of me. Okay, so the first question is, what got you into drawing? Well, I feel like, every kid draws, right? So yeah, I must have drawn, a lot when I was really little. But I would say like probably my first big inspiration to get into drawing was my older brother. He was 6 years older than me, so I really looked up to him, and he was really good at drawing. I remember I would go, through his sketchbooks and like just be amazed. So yeah, I probably got into it mostly from that at first, and then yeah, just kept going, kept liking it. Okay. So the next question: if you had to pick a favorite drawing or video you've done so far, which would it be? It's kind of hard to answer that because I don't really claim anything or like a lot from a lot of my videos, because most of the time I'm just copying someone else. With that being said, I did really like how the second Bob Ross video I did came out. I thought that one was really cute. That landscape, I feel like it turned out really well. So probably that one. Do you have any other hobbies besides drawing? Yeah, I have a lot of hobbies, I think. I really like to draw. This channel is a hobby. I like making videos. I grew up playing the piano for like 10 years. I took lessons and I really loved it. It was really a great emotional outlet for me. I don't have a piano now, but I would love to be able to play again. I do play a lot of video games. I like to read. I'm reading a book right now called Martyr, which is really good so far. So yeah, those are probably my main hobbies. Do you have a favorite show that you've drawn or that you've drawn so far? Yeah, I really like a lot of those shows that I've drawn. It's really hard to choose one. But I would say that the show that I watch probably the most often would be American Dad. It's just one of my comfort shows, and I just put it on, to fall asleep or, have in the background while I'm doing other things. So it's a little bit embarrassing, I guess, but that's probably my favorite show that I've drawn. favorite movie that you've drawn. It's funny, I haven't actually drawn my top 4 on Letterboxd. I've been planning to do it, but of the movies that I've drawn, which there's been a lot of really good ones, it's kind of hard. I would probably say that my favorite is Dazed and Confused. I think that movie is really one of my favorites, and it's just so well made, and the atmosphere is just so relaxing. I really love that movie. Do you prefer whispering or soft spoken? ASMR. I don't know. I actually like both. I really like both. I think I probably like when people switch back and forth the most. I get a lot of tingles from when people are like talking soft spoken and then switch to whispering. So I guess it's not a really straightforward answer to that question, but that's my answer. Any dream places to visit or places you visited that you loved? There's a lot of places I want to visit actually. I just recently, like the end of last year, I went to Vietnam and Thailand, and I had always really wanted to go to Vietnam for a really long time, and Thailand too, obviously, but I really, really loved it. The food was so good. I had such a good time. And places that I would like to visit in the future, probably at the top of my list right now are like places in South America. I would really love to go to all of it, but like, yeah, namely, I guess like Chile or Colombia or Brazil. I would love to go to. So yeah. What type of music do you like? I don't really think I have any one genre that I listen to. I listen to a lot of different types of music. I really like R&B, hip-hop, I guess like alternative like pop. I really like, I don't know, yeah, a lot of different stuff. What am I listening to a lot lately? Oh, I just heard the new album, or like the new songs from Charlie XCX, which were, a lot of them are good. I'm not crazy about every single song, but I'm liking it so far. What else? I like a lot of like older music, like yacht rock, like Steely Dan and stuff. I put that on, you know, like classic rock, just to be like around the house and stuff. So yeah. Favorite ASM artist? I don't really have a favorite per se. I definitely go through phases with different artists. I do feel like probably the biggest channel that I watch would be like Josie B. I really like her videos, and I really like Atmosphere. She does really cool stuff, like super high production value stuff that I couldn't even imagine how long they take. But yeah, I really like those videos. Snow Monkey does really cool like video game content. I really like his stuff. If you had to own an exotic pet, which would you choose? Is a hedgehog exotic? Maybe a hedgehog. What's your favorite snack? My favorite snack would probably be hot Cheetos. Hot Cheetos. really love hot Cheetos, but I can't get them where I live, unfortunately. So if I ever have people come visit me from the States, I always ask them to bring me hot Cheetos. Or if I go visit the States, that's like the first thing I buy. What's your favorite thing to cook? I actually really like to cook. I don't actually have a favorite thing to cook. I have a favorite, like, maybe type of cuisine, which is like, I really like to make a lot of East Asian food, like Chinese food, or, yeah, like Thai, maybe, is the most accessible for me. But, yeah, I wouldn't say that I have, like, any one particular dish that I really, really like to make. What is your breakfast, your go-to breakfast? I eat the same thing every morning. Well, these days. Which is just 2 eggs on some toast with some Marmite and butter and chili powder on top. It's really good. I'm getting hungry actually now that I'm talking about food. Do you have a favorite cooking utensil or appliance? Do I have a favorite cooking utensil? Maybe my blender. My blender is really, I use it a lot for like sauces and stuff. Let's see what's next. Do you have a favorite hat? I do love hats. I feel like I maybe talked about this in a recent video. I don't really have a favorite hat, but I do have hats that I wear more often just because I think they fit the clothes that I wear more. So, yeah, I guess no. Do you have any pets? I don't have any pets at the moment, but I am actually currently looking for the perfect pet to adopt. I'm hoping to get a dog this year actually, so watch this space. What made you move to Spain? Okay, so yeah, I've been asked a few times about this. So I grew up in the US, and I moved to Spain a while ago. I originally moved here to do a master's program in illustration, but I guess the real reason I moved here was to learn Spanish. So my mom's side of the family, a lot of them only speak Spanish, and I really wanted to be able to talk, with my grandma, and I knew the best way to really learn the language was to immerse myself in a Spanish-speaking country. So I thought was kind of the main motivation to move here, and I ended up really liking it here, so I decided to stay after I finished my studies. So yeah, that's why. And yeah, so the second question, or the 2 follow-up questions are, do you speak Spanish? So yes, I do. I've actually been thinking about maybe doing a video in Spanish, but I'm maybe a little too shy. We'll see. And then the other follow-up to that was, what was the hardest part of adjusting to life in Spain? And I do think it was a little bit challenging at first to kind of get used to the culture and like the way people are different from how they are in the States. And just like, yeah, different culture, different references, different sense of humor. So I would say that it was challenging at first to get used to, but I've been here a while now, so I feel a little bit more settled and comfortable here. So it was an adjustment, but worth it. Okay, I only have one question, or no, two. If you could explore the world of any movie or series or book, what would it be? I actually haven't thought about this. I don't know. A world or movie or book. I don't know, it's hard to say because I really love, like, I'm watching X-Men right now, I'm really into it, but I wouldn't want to live in that world, you know, it's like so apocalyptic. I would want to live in like a peaceful, maybe like a Studio Ghibli movie, like Kiki's Delivery Service would be nice, or like none of the war-torn ones. A lot of them are pro-war. Okay, and then the last question is, do you have any specific style outside of these videos? So yeah, this is kind of a hard one for me to answer because I do think I used to care a lot more about having a really concrete and distinct style that I could like point to and really identify as like strictly my own, you know. But I think as I've gotten a little bit older, I've kind of not cared as much about that. I found it restricting, and it honestly took a lot of the joy away from drawing for me to focus on that kind of thing. I'd much rather just explore and experiment and try new things, you know. So even though I probably do have a specific style or maybe like a visual language that I rely on time and time again, I wouldn't say that I have like any one thing that I want to do or be known for, you know. I just draw for myself, you know, what I think will look good, you know. So yes and no. I don't know, I think there's a lot of pressure on professional illustrators to really do things that, you know, the same way, or, you know, have a marketable style. But I don't know. Personally, I don't want to worry about it. So yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone who asked, you know, questions and who hit that subscribe button. And yeah, I would love to maybe do another one of these in the future if you have more questions. Well, I hope you like this one. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything. And I will see you in the next one.